we go. All right. I want to welcome everybody. Hopefully you're enjoying the nice, beautiful weather. I was just telling a few people before we got started, it's going to be 115 here Saturday, and I'm going to a water slide.
Really? Whoa.
We'll see how that goes. I want to get right into the subject matter tonight because I think it's important, and we can get to the end. We'll talk about the modules or any questions you have. Please write down any questions you have. But as we go along here, I also want you to know that this is participatory. In other words, if you have something to say, and I usually if I have my wife here, she can nudge me, say, okay, don't talk anymore, let somebody else talk. But she's not here, so I'm going to have you guys do the nudging, okay? So let's see here, and there we go. Okay, I've muted everybody, and we're going to continue on here, okay? Last week, I told everybody that was on the call last weekend that I really, truly believe, looking at the quality, who the people are and stuff, that everyone can do this business to whatever level they want to do it. And I truly believe that. And if you remember, Sue and I came to a realization because, the enemy in my life always tries to beat me up. And when I try to do something, he's right there whispering in my ear all the time how I can't do things. And so Sue and I had to come to a place of filtering our thoughts. And Sue and I filter because this would be Jack. Here's what Jack thinks. Here's what God thinks. And 100% of the time, what God thought was more important than what I thought. And so we've had to learn that. And what it has done for us is transformed us. And I used that diagram last week, how it really did by filtering what God said, because, the other voices could be pretty brutal. And I don't know if you guys went through any of those voices where it told you, you can't do this business. You're not even a good coach. If you're a good coach, you would be like so-and-so, to comparison, all these things that really beat us up in this business. And so that's why I believe in all of you. I know you guys can do this, but be sure to filter your stuff through the right filters, okay? Have you ever heard of the phrase, since you've been in Take Shape for Life, you need to be bulletproof? What's that mean to some of you, to be bulletproof? If somebody can just pop off and what they think bulletproof means to them.
It means to me, when negative things are said, that I learn to not attach myself to the outcome, and to just keep on keeping on.
Yeah. Yep. And it's not easy, though, is it, Joanne?
The choice we have to make moment by moment.
Moment by moment. And Claudia, you had something to say?
My mentor, she said it for me.
Mary?
Well, I just think it's like a shield of protection. We have to protect what each of us are trying to do as individually, but collectively as a group too. And like Joanne said, not attach ourselves to the outcome, but just kind of guard ourselves a little bit while we're trying to put ourselves out there too at the same time.
And so really we want to get to a place where being bulletproof is not like, go ahead, attack me all you want or say all those things, I don't care. It's not that. It's that and this is for me, and you guys can speak into this too. Bulletproof to me is that I don't go into the thing, and I tell you, every three-way I do, and I'm going to tell you, the people that have been doing three-ways, and I have totally enjoyed them. I actually can say now in my business, that's something I look forward to. I couldn't have always said that. I was always fearful. What if this person says something or takes me down a road that I don't know? But you know what? I found out most of the time, health-wise and business-wise and everything, I know more than that person. It's just always been that way. And so for me, I go into these three-way calls. I go into these conversations with different people that I meet out in Arizona here. And I don't have an agenda. I don't go out trying to get somebody. I'm always aware, because I believe that I can change people's lives. I can change. We have the trilogy. I don't know what part of the trilogy they need. I don't know that part. But what I do know is if they need any of the trilogy, which I would think everybody needs some part of the trilogy, but if they need it, I'm going to present it, and I'm going to lay out the opportunity for them to join us in this. And if no matter what they say, it just doesn't bother me. And I think that's the part of getting bulletproof. You know, I have come to a place that one in my own personal walk with Take Shape for Life is that I truly believe in the program. Are there other programs can lose weight? Yes. I don't know any program. They come out using the same words as we do. I'm in 14 marketing groups here in Arizona. And I haven't been to all of them, but I've actually got the right to join. So I've been about to 4 of them. And there's other places, that other men and women there that are doing weight loss or nutrition or things like that. And I look up and I'm becoming best friends. One of the brightest guys that I know is in another company, and him and I have become great, great friends. I don't look at him as a threat, and I know he doesn't look at me as a threat, but I know I got the goods, and it doesn't, you know, him presenting or me presenting when we got our opportunity to present doesn't change anything, because I truly believe that this program, taken through its fruition, will change people's lives. If they become coaches, this business can change people's lives. And so, you know, I really feel good here in the place that Sue and I are at, because I really feel that we're getting to that place of being bulletproof. And I used to hear that all the time. And I go through some of the things that Joanne had said and Claudia had said and Mary of, you know, of feeling that, but I never felt like I walked in it. And I really feel now that I'm walking in it. I truly believe. Is this for everybody? No. But I still talk to them about it. I still lay out the opportunity about it. I still want to do as many 3-way calls. I'm jealous sometimes when I was on the global call this morning. I think one guy said he did 7 3-ways yesterday, and like, man, oh man, I got to really get going to do that many. And he wasn't a contest in any sort. It was just, that's what's happening in Take Shape. This new module system they've got coming out, the training, I'm going to put it out to you. I don't care how long it takes. If it takes you 3 months, 6 months to really get to a place where when you bring on a new coach, you know exactly where to send them, exactly what's there. You've learned it for yourself, and use your mentorship like we're talking about with the 3-way calls and Zooms and stuff like that. You can really make a difference in the health of America and in the economy of America. So to me, that's what it means to be bulletproof. Anyone want to comment anything else that I said there?
Well, I want to say I really appreciated what you said last week, and that we all are empowered to do well. It's in us to do well. I can't remember quite how you said it, but I took that on. Mm-hmm. And yesterday I was sabotaged, and it really is, for me, it's more than being bulletproof. I have to remember every day to put on my armor, because it sneaks up on me, you know, and I find that I'm not equipped emotionally or something. And I yesterday went through some of those things, had to have some self-talk about, I'm not a good coach, I'm not a good coach of coaches, I'm not, this kind of stuff. And I give myself a few minutes to feel sorry for myself. And then I say, okay, the timer's set, you're done, and now let's move on, kind of thing. Sure. But that becomes my armor, because setting the timer reminds me, okay, now put on what you're prepared and gifted and trained to do. You have everything you need. So it's in you. And one of my clients says all the time, it's in you to do well. And so I say that to him, back at him, but it's in us to do well. So it's just, for me, it's putting on every day that mental attitude of what you talked about. And you gave a couple of scriptures last week that I wrote down and put here, and I appreciate you doing that.
Well, you're welcome. And for me, what you said, because I moving and stuff, you always doubt yourself. Is this the wisest thing to do at 65 years of age? Sell everything and move away. And I mean, I try to take everything to the Lord, and I felt like he said, yes, you can do this. this is a perfect time and stuff, but you still. And so what I found here now is that if I don't really filter my thoughts through what God thinks about me, and again, that's my filter. Other people might have other filters. I don't think we can filter through yourself. That's just I would my head would have exploded years ago. But filtering through that, what it's really told me is that at night before I go to bed, I try to think of something positive. I lined out my day for the next day, so I'm prepared. All these little things help me. But then when I get up in the morning, just like you, Claudia, I've got to tell myself, I prepare myself mentally for the day, and it's not psyching myself up. It's saying what I believe that God thinks I can do, and so there is no shame zone. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people think there is, and I'd like you to ask yourself, to get to that bulletproof spot, you need to ask yourself, do you believe that Take Shape can change lives? Do you really believe? And that's the part where I'm getting to this. I'm actually, maybe I'm just living so close to Doug Woods, he's rubbing off on me. I'm not sure, but that if you follow him at all, I truly believe him and his wife have become bulletproof, and it's not a haughty thing. It's actually very attractive on them in a sense that they exude, I want to help you to people. I want to help you. And so they can very easily find out what of the trilogy these people need and it not matter, what the outcome is. They don't even go in with it. And so I'm learning that. And then I ask myself too, what do I believe about the business, the Take Shape model business, the model they have? Is it truly the best thing out there? Again, being in this network thing and seeing what people do for pennies on the dollar. I see these, met a gal, she does jewelry. She gives away jewelry. Now, I haven't went to a jewelry show because you got to have a jewelry show at your house, and I think she gives away jewelry because if you hold the show, she gives you jewelry and she sells it to other people. I don't know, but all the stuff she has to, but she has a passion for it. I commend her for that. But I know also all the time and energy, all the different things out there that people can do. There's nothing like Take Shape. There's nothing that I've ever run into that changes people's lives like the health and the business model to whatever degree. Each person has to decide what level they want to be at. I mean, you really do. Do you want to take care of just a few clients and that's your goal and mission? That's great. Or do you want to build a dynamic business? If you want to build that dynamic business, then you really need to get into the understanding of how this new the module system works and how Mary and I talked about it a little bit, but here you are as a coach and you bring on a coach and it's your job. Claudia, I'll use your example. Claudia brings on a coach, and then here comes Joanne down working with Claudia and stuff, watching this person, and then this person brings on a coach and Joanne just kind of watches him from a little bit. But Joanne's job is to make sure that Claudia gets it. Claudia's able to teach her coach to get it. And then when that coach gets it, then what happens is all of a sudden Joanne can pull back away from Claudia a little bit because Claudia's got the concept of building coaches wide and deep and taprooting, as we call it, going down. And sometimes you get a coach in that flounders or doesn't do anything, but they get a coach to come in. All of a sudden they're doing something. Well, if we leave it up to that coach that brought them in the business and they're not doing anything, that other person eventually is going to die because they're not getting any nutrition. And so it's our job to go down there and see what their needs are, see what they've missed. I've got a gal, again, another one that joined this week as a client of mine. She was in Take Shape 4 years ago or so, and her coach has since got out of the business, and she came in on a challenge, one of the meltdown challenges and stuff, asked if she could, I can't remember, they assigned her to us or she asked. Anyway, so we've done a couple of meltdown challenges with her. Gal's doing great. And we got to talking about the business side of it. and she goes, you know, I never knew there was one. My coach never even presented, and that's not a slam against the coach. A lot of us didn't present it, or we thought when the time gets right, when they lose 30 pounds, I'll talk about it. No, the time is now to lay out the whole trilogy to everybody. So I got off track of my notes, but you know me. We have to get to a place of not taking it personal. We don't want to get emotional about the answer, not involved. And this is how you can become bulletproof. Always using that filter thing. Start your day by filtering your life of how whatever you filter it with really thinks of you and what you can do. And really believe that you can get out there and change a person's life. I was talking to her today as we were talking about coaching, and I said, wouldn't it be worth it becoming a coach, even if you got in there and changed one person you love, their life, her mother's in bad health, I'll say, not poor health. And I said, wouldn't it be worth it to become a coach just to change your mom's life? She said, absolutely. And so that, you know, that's important. And then offer it to as many people as you want. And I think that's action. There's two things that now that I've been doing the 3 ways and things, I think there's two things. One, it's hard to get a coach to do 3 ways. I don't know if they go out and they're the people, you know, why do I need to talk to somebody else? I don't know if that's the case. They need to learn the terminology of how, you know, I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. And so my coach that's a little more mature in this, I want to meet, and that way all your questions will be answered. Not, hey, will you get on a call? You know, I need some training or things like that. It's really, you know, you want their questions answered. And so as coaches, we need to get to why aren't we doing 3 ways? That's what I would say to my coach. Why aren't we doing 3 ways? And find out why we're not doing them. Try to work on those areas that to really where we would start doing them. And then, of course, activity. Talk to as many people as you've got. Sue and I started something this week. I'll just point out for some of you that have been in a while and got a lot of considerable old clients. You know, I was really shocked. Sue and I got 980 old clients.
Oh,
And I was thinking, oh my gosh. So you know what we started doing? And this is another Doug Wood thing. We're having a meeting here in Arizona tomorrow night here in Gilbert, and Doug and his group, and we're all meeting up at it's at an apartment complex, but we have their room that they rent there. Hi, Robert. Anyway, that was just advertisement. But what we did is Doug taught us on our phones how you can turn it around, do a selfie, except you could put it on record, and we record messages, and then we text them to these old clients.
and you do what?
And we text them to the old clients. We say something like this, Claudia, I haven't talked to you in 6 months, a year. Hi, Claudia, just thinking about you today and just haven't heard from you and stuff. And I hope your health is going good and everything. But, just want to drop you a line and see how you do. If you get time, hey, drop me a message back. Let me know how you're doing.
That's brilliant.
Send it. And it's the most, we are amazed. I mean, I can't say we got any business out of it yet, but we're amazed how many people, they didn't actually videotape us back, but because it was a text message in a sense, they text us back and said, hey, it's good hearing from you. I think so. It's very powerful, and you can do a lot of them. I mean, it takes we get it down to, we do them under a minute. And we have a list, and because what I find is a lot of them, I don't want to weed out the ones that aren't answering their phone because they're afraid I'm trying to talk them back into something. And so this way, it's just the way it's sending it to them and saying hi. It's the most personal way we can say hi. An email doesn't do it. A text message doesn't do it. And a voicemail doesn't do it because, it just, but them looking us right in our face, it's just a powerful thing. So,
I didn't even know that existed. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah. That Doug showed me that about a month ago, and I started doing it, and then we kind of flaked off a little bit, and then Doug and I start doing it back and forth to each other, and it's just funny because sometimes it's like a game back and forth with me and him, but it's just very powerful. So it's a tool that you guys can all use, and if you have any questions on how to do it, it's fairly easy. It's just taking a selfie, except you move it over to record. And then once you record it, you bring it back up because it goes down at the bottom. You bring it back up. You say you want to email it, and it says, text it. You can email it too, but I say text. You say you want to text it, and they say to who, put it in there, and boom. It's really, really good. So, okay, I'm going to keep moving here.
Hey, Jack, is it the same recording over and over and over again? You don't have to redo it.
You could choose to say, hey, hey, buddy, I haven't heard from you in a long time. I just try to see how you're doing, blah, blah, blah. We do those. But there's ever so often that special person that we want to call them by their name. So we'll record it, their name in there. So it anyway works. That's and the beauty of it is you can actually print your old clients list off, go in Excel and print it off, and just mark them off or date them that you've done it. But yeah, I was amazed at how many. We've been in almost 7 years, so it bounced up over the 7 years how many old clients you had and stuff. So, all right, okay, I'm going to try to finish my little teaching here, and then we'll ask questions. Okay, condemnation. This is a definition. Okay, condemnation points to an area in our lives that is out of line, but convinces us it's impossible to change. That's condemnation. Conviction, which I believe comes from God, points out an area in our life that is out of line, but offers grace and power to change it.
Wow. Huh.
And that's what I want for you guys. I want you, if you're not doing something right, know that your mentors, we're all having grace, but know also that you have the power to change that, and just really buckle down and do it. And I know you guys will do it. And remember this is a God thing. So God never says, shame on you. He never does. He says, you're better than that.
Wow.
He never points a finger at us and says, shame on you. He always says, you're better than that. And that's the difference from condemnation and conviction. And so with that, I want you guys just to have a great week and stuff, and we'll open it up for questions now.
I came with a question.
Okay, Claudia.
I've been watching all the videos and rewatching them because I figure if I watch them enough, it'll cement in and not fall out. They are awesome. But I get confused. A story call. Lisa talks about having the story call. Is that the same way, like let's say I have a 3-way, bring Joanne, one of my clients. Would that be the story call? Somebody that's a client and we're just introducing them to Joanne so she can celebrate their...
Yeah, that's what I would call a story call. In other words, and this is the thing, when you get up to a certain level, like Joanne doesn't bring very many story calls to me, but every once in a while, she'll get a person that she feels that she just wants them to meet me. We don't have an agenda. We're not trying to talk them into being a coach. They just done so good on the program. And so we'll get together and we do a little preliminary ahead of time. And then about 15 minutes before the call, she'll text both of us and the client, say, looking so forward to seeing you guys at 7:00. And then we get in and I'll build up Joanne as the greatest coach that's ever come along and Take Shape for Life. And we'll talk a little bit, and then I'll ask that person, tell me your story. Tell me what it means. Has people noticed around you? Is it really life-changing and everything? No agenda, but find out some things, maybe look for some, we're kind of fruit inspectors. We're kind of looking to, could this be a coach? We're not there for that purpose, but we're looking through it stuff. I might bring up some ideas and stuff, and then say, it was so nice meeting you. Then when I get off the phone, I'll wait a little bit and I'll text Joanne back. It was so nice being on the phone with your client. She's just a lovely, lovely lady, knowing that she's going to get that. But it ties us together where if the client comes back and asks a question, I'll see the question, so will Joanne. And it just ties us together, especially what we think eventually some of these people become coaches and they already know their mentorship line. So, but yeah, there is a because the story, what'd you call it? Story.
She calls it a story call. Lisa.
Story call. Yeah, story call. And I don't know what they're going to call the other calls. I mean, if they did get them out to where, has anyone got any clarification on like when you're doing a three-way with someone interested, possibly their client that's interested in coaching? I mean, I don't know what you would call it. To me, they're all story calls, because if I was on a line with a client of Joanne's and they were interested in coaching, I would do the same thing. I would have tell me your story, how successful people. I would take it. People are really noticing. What do you what's your feelings about becoming a coach? What would be your why? And we might talk about the why. I always try to get into their why, because I think that's the most powerful thing. It's not how many people they know. It's not even how many people notice you. It's why would you want to be a coach? Just like that young lady today. Her whole thing, she's a nurse, so she loves helping people anyway. But also she wants her mom healthy. Very powerful thing. So, and she said she didn't mind looking a little better too herself. So.
That's a nice outcome.
Yeah, she said she said, I hate to be selfish, but I think being a coach, I'd be more in line to stay within my weight. I said, you're absolutely right. So, but yeah, I would, Claudia, I wouldn't get hung up too much on what the name is. You can categorize them. This will all kind of filter down in time, and we'll all use the same terminology. But what I would say to everybody, three-way calls, if you could push yourself through to get three-way calls till you get so good at them that the only three ways you're going up with is just introduction things and having people meet your new coaches and stuff like that, that in a sense, your mentor could look at you and say, she's got this. She's got this. Because what that does is that pretty soon that umbrella of that person gets big. Terry Miller still uses mentorship calls with Dr. Ray in them, but it's very, they don't bombard him. You know what I'm saying? It'll be one of those cases where they feel it'll be a powerful thing. But without a doubt, Terry Miller and Dave Miller can run their own business. So that's why I say you use it until you get so good at it. And your job is to teach your team those same qualities. I'll make sure. Okay, we're right at 6:31. I know we started a few minutes late, but I do want to answer any questions that anybody has or cover anything. I'll give you a little bit to pop on there and ask the question. Anybody?
I just want to make a comment that
Sure.
something I have learned, because, I'm just coming back.
Oh, you're back, Joanne. If I told people how many hours you work today, every day, I didn't work that hard when I was 20. But anyway, go ahead.
I love to work, and I love to be back with Take Shape for Life, because I love it so much. But one thing that I learned yesterday that was really helpful, I got organized. I got
Yes.
all my pre-clients, my clients that haven't ordered for a long time, inactive list, and I got all very organized. And then I made my calls, and I just called 60 people, I guess, yesterday. Most of them I just left, like Doug said, to just leave a little call. Hi, I'm thinking of you. Hope everything's okay, and thinking of you today. And then, that's it.
Because you're not calling to get them back as clients unless they need you.
And sometimes someone would come on and say, I was waiting for your call because I need to come back. So we do have some coming back. We have some new coach possibilities too.
You guys want me to show you something scary? I'm sitting there, I get this, can you see that? Somebody ran out and did it to me, but I think I'll just put that in the junk mail. Robert, you kid or you? So I'll listen to it.
My brother. Don't pick on my brother.
Hey, I'll listen to it offline just in case, he didn't, control his time.
Jack, it'll be good. Welcome, Jack.
Hey, so Jack,
Yes.
so tell me your 1-minute story.
Tell you my 1-minute story?
When you're talking to a,
And it depends. Okay. It all depends. Am I talking to a potential coach? Is it a client?
potential client.
Okay. And Joanne's brought me on to talk to you, Mary. And so, well, hi, Mary. I'd ask you some questions like, about yourself.
Mhm.
Are you married, got kids, those kind of things. So we're through all that. That's
Yeah.
what I know that you should have shown some interest with Joanne about the program and everything. And I just want to tell you that, about almost 7 years ago, I had some very disheartening news about my health. In fact, it was very critical. My doctor said that I was a walking heart attack. And so it come to realization. Now, I would tell you, I was a life dieter. I dieted for a living. I'd lose 30 pounds and put on 40. But it got to that place where I could no longer ignore my health. I was at a place where they couldn't increase my medications anymore. So I really had to take a serious look. And one of my friends had lost about 85 pounds and said he could help me. He reached out and grabbed hold of my hand and said, Jack, I can help you with this. Sue and I both got on together. Sue's my wife. She lost 52 pounds. I lost 73. We did that in 15 weeks. And our life has never been the same since. It basically saved my life. And so am I a believer in Take Shape for Life and their program? Absolutely. And I would just say to you, Mary, take a hard look at it. Just take a hard look and see if this is a fit for you. In fact, look at the whole trilogy because, and Joanne can go over that with you, what that means. But I just, in my own heart, I believe there's something in Take Shape for everybody. And so I just say, I'll take a real hard look and see what you think.
Cool.
Can
Yeah.
I piggyback on that and ask? I know
Sure,
you're doing
sure.
networking, and I do a lot of networking. What do you, in the networking group, you have 30 seconds or a minute. What would you say, just in a quick?
Well, it depends. Like for this last week, I strictly went into business. I said, I'm Jack Club with Take Shape for Life, and I'm going to talk about the business aspect of my business. And we actually, I take it on myself that I add 2 coaches a month to my organization, and I personally dedicate everything they need for that coach to make an extra $2,000 to $4,000 a month. And so I link arm in arm with them, and don't let go until they've learned all the skills that they need.
Wow.
And there's just different things. I mean, in those marketing things, you got to remember what you said the last time, where you were at, and then Sue will come in. Sue's actually a member too, and she'll come in and she'll do a health thing, about her health and what it's done for her, or we'll talk about a client. We'll take one of our clients that have just turned their life totally around, and we'll talk about them. And so, yeah, the 30-second thing is definitely you, because they time you. If you guys have never been to one, that buzzer goes off at 30 seconds. You better be closing, or they'll steamroll right over you. So, but some are so canned, Claudia. To be honest, I try to be me because I think sincerity is going to outweigh. Some of them are so polished. They say the exact same thing every time, and it just, for me, it just doesn't fly that well. So, well, I'm going a little long, so I want to give her any questions. I will. Let me do this.